Welcome back to the Daytona 500. 1998 is the year. I'm James Atherlay alongside Jason Wechsler. And folks, it could not be a more special occasion as Dale Earnhardt finds himself in front with a chance to win it for the first time in 20 years. Earnhardt leads Jeremy Mayfield, Jeff Gordon, Rusty Wallace, and then in a boatload of cars. Under a blanket, you could probably fit about 20 of them. And here we are we're on the back straightaway right now. It's Earnhardt, Mayfield, and Jeff Gordon, followed by Wallace. It looks like Marlin and Bobby Labonte in just a huge debacle in the restrictor plate surface of Daytona International Speedway in Daytona Beach, Florida.
James, Jeff Gordon was my favorite coming in to win this race right here, and certainly in contention here up until the end, but we'll see what happens here.
Any one of these cars can win it. Any one of these cars separated within about a second or a second and a half have a legitimate chance to win it. Earnhardt leads a pack of now 5 cars that are starting to break away from the rest of the field. It's Earnhardt, Wallace, Jeff Gordon, Jeremy Mayfield, and Sterling Marlin there in the black car in the back.
Good job there by Earnhardt holding off the other cars by blocking their view and blocking their path and staying in front there, trying to hold on to the lead here with just 4 laps to go here in the Daytona 500.
That is actually not Sterling Marlin. They're now passing for 4th. Gordon got passed by Jeremy Mayfield going down the back straightaway, and now it actually looks like Jeff Gordon is in trouble. The defending winner will not win it this year. 3 laps to go. Dale Earnhardt still out in front. Earnhardt has had horrible luck within the closing laps of this race in the past. A seagull pierced the surface of the car, ruptured an oil line in the engine, and his car was exploded. In 1990, he blew a tire going down the back straightaway on the final lap. Any one of these things could happen again in Daytona for Dale Earnhardt, who has not had the greatest luck here. Car looking on the outside for second now. It's Bobby Labonte on the outside of Jeremy Mayfield. One car in trouble. That is Jimmy Spencer in the middle, now slowing down, and that could have caused a huge problem. Great job by him to save it.
Just to go back to a point you made earlier, Earnhardt with a bunch of trouble, as you alluded to, those previous years, but with 2 laps to go, he put himself in contention. He's still leading, I believe, and all you need to do is be in contention, and if you're any of the cars now, you know not to hold back. If you're Rusty Wallace or anybody like that, just keep going.
Speaking of that, trouble down the back. It's John Andretti again, and who's that? It's Lake Speed. This could end it. Earnhardt is going around the outside of now, it looks like Rick Mast. It is Rick Mast, and Rick Mast is going to be used as a pick for Dale Earnhardt. Earnhardt has Labonte right behind him. Labonte and Mayfield bump. Here they come to the caution flag. Earnhardt will finally win the Daytona 500. It has happened for Dale Earnhardt. The Intimidator will go to victory lane at Daytona.
It's got to feel good for a guy like Earnhardt who has had such bad luck. You cannot win a more prestigious race here in the sport than the Daytona 500, and what more can you say?
The Daytona 500 has rivaled races like the Indianapolis 500 since its inception, but now with almost 13 million people watching around the world and almost 500,000 fans in attendance, Dale Earnhardt will finally, after 20 years, this man's rookie year was in 1979. This is his 20th trip to the track, and he is finally going to win the big one. The Daytona 500 in 1998 belongs to Dale Earnhardt.
Cannot belong to a better guy. A guy that's really been a fan favorite here, and I'm sure plenty of people were cheering for a guy like this to win it, and he finally has. It's got to feel good if you're Earnhardt Jr.
Dale Earnhardt Jr., Teresa Earnhardt, Carrie Earnhardt, all of his fans and family are in tears right now. And look at this, as Dale Earnhardt gives a playful bump to the NASCAR Pontiac pace car, and we take a look at the finish here. Dale Earnhardt, a great move of using Rick Mast as a pick, and Rick Mast might get a hug and a love letter from one Dale Earnhardt in the coming weeks or days. He prevented Jeremy Mayfield from progressing on that run, and look at the crew led by Larry McReynolds, just absolutely in tears at this point in time. What a moment, not only for NASCAR, but for this crew, for this fans who have stuck with this team for so long. Richard Childress, who hired this man purely on a whim, and they became absolutely indestructible. 7 championships thus far, tying them with the king, Richard Petty, and now, only now, have they finally won the Daytona 500, the biggest race of them all.